So if you've been following me for a while, you probably know that I eat some weird stuff. There's one animal that I just found out about, and in my opinion does not look like food, but I booked a ticket to Vietnam and we're going to track it down today and see if you can actually eat this thing. But you'll see in a couple seconds, this thing does not look edible, but it is very expensive and apparently very good. We have some intel, we might know where to find some.
Along the coastline of eastern Vietnam, it's quite common to see aquariums on the side of the road. These aquariums are definitely unique because they're not for show. All of the animals that you see in these tanks are there to be eaten. Here in Da Nang, Vietnam, we were looking for a couple specific animals, and while we were hunting for them, we ran into a lot of fish from America, like the sturgeon and some of the bull redfish that you can find along the Gulf Coast. It was very interesting to see how the more rare and exotic and hard to obtain the species were, the more expensive they were. It was surprising to me that here in Vietnam, I would see the most expensive seafood of my life. I know that if we kept searching, we would find some animals that cost thousands of dollars.
All right, so we made it to our very first place, and they have a ton of different types of seafood. They have huge crabs, and we found this one cone snail right here. This thing is huge. That is by far the biggest cone snail I've ever seen. Probably tastes amazing. Feel kind of bad eating it, but we did run into the target species. It is just a tad expensive. We're gonna take a look at it. All right, so here in Vietnam, they have some seafood restaurants where they catch some massive rare fish, overcharge you for it, and you could actually see the animal before they kill it and cook it for you. So we went to the first place. They had the isopod. It's really expensive. We're looking at almost $100 a kilo, so about maybe $40 a pound. So we're going to another place today. These guys have even more fish, and we're gonna see if we could find some more isopods. Maybe smaller ones because those ones are pretty big, and maybe something else to eat because this is lunch. All right, so we made it through this next place. They have a really cool variety. The floor is super wet, but we found some isopods. This is the animal that we've been looking for, and it's a little more expensive here, but they are definitely smaller, so we're gonna give it a shot.
This is the greater isopod. It looks like a roly-poly, and it is related to them, except this is found at the very bottom of the ocean. I found this video quite interesting. It shows how these isopods are voracious scavengers, using their shells to block out other scavengers until the meal is done. These are cockroaches. These don't look like food to me, so when I saw one in the tank, I knew I had to try it. We finally picked an isopod out. It looked like it was half a kilo or so it wouldn't cost us too much money, although it is still a little expensive. And looking at it closely, we did see some spots where there might be some meat hiding. It was very interesting. There were no eyeballs. It looks like it had some eyes behind the shell, which was a first for me. We were happy we found a great specimen, picked out another mantis shrimp to eat, and they took it inside.
All right, so we picked an isopod. This is around $100 a kilo. I don't think it's a full kilo, but it does look like it's pretty close. They even said, they pointed at it, there's not much meat in this thing. I wasn't anticipating a lot of meat, but we'll see if this is gonna be worth it. I'm nervous. The person that sold it to us has not eaten it before. They had a nervous face on too, so we're gonna give it a shot. This is out of my comfort zone, that's for sure. But they have some pretty impressive seafood here. A lot of it actually is from North America too, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, we'll give it a shot. We got some other seafood as well, so it's gonna be a good meal. All right, so we just sat down at this really cool restaurant. It's by the ocean, and we're wondering how they're gonna prepare our isopod. And I don't know how I feel about that statement, but we just got our first dish. Some clams with meals today. We're gonna be eating stuff way out of our comfort zone, and we're gonna give this a shot. But at least this is normal food right now. We're starting off with some normal food.
This looks good.
Yeah.
This is okay. Like, this is acceptable in my head.
Acceptable clams. Starter dish. So we asked the lady what her favorite food was, and she said it was these snails. Really interesting scales with like a ginger lemongrass broth. It's really good. Tastes like the ocean. Tastes like the ocean. The soup tastes like a herbal tea when you're sick you get from Starbucks. No, that's so good. But we're here for that isopod.
This is our main dish. And it's just
start? How do you eat
like
this thing?
they just gave it to us straight out of the aquarium.
They're putting gloves on, gloves and scissors. Yeah. What is this? What's gonna happen? They're dismantling this alien.
Are you like cutting all the pieces we can eat, or?
I don't know, but they're literally dismantling this animal piece by piece.
I was hoping you could speak English. I guess that everything you see inside right now is the part we can eat, because that looks like pretty juicy.
And that's good. That's it.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. Thank you so much.
Come on.
So the animal has been dismantled, and I see there's eggs.
Late last year, I was in Hokkaido, Japan. This is in the north part of Japan. This is where sushi comes from. This is where the best seafood in the world comes from. And I had my first mantis shrimp sushi. It was incredible. It stood out to me as the most flavorful piece of sushi I've ever had. And I'm not sure if it was cooked or raw or maybe somewhere in between, but it was very good. When we saw the same mantis shrimp in these aquariums, we decided to get one because from my personal experience, I knew it would taste good and we wanted to make sure we had at least one thing on our table that tasted normal.
You already had, so only this one is new.
First up, we got some mantis shrimp. I know this is good. I've eaten this before.
Cheers, guys.
Really crazy shrimp type thing. Catches fish, hides in the sand, but this stuff I do like, so that is good. That is good.
And then it was time for our isopod.
There you go.
This is not a shrimp.
That's actually looking like really good.
Okay, there we go. We got a good bite of this. We're gonna give it a shot. Dude, that's the weirdest thing I've ever eaten. That is nothing like shrimp or crab. I don't like it.
You don't?
I don't. I do not like it. I will finish it, but I can't say. This does not seem like food to me. This seems like biological material in a shell. Just enough material to sustain this insect, to keep it alive, to decompose dead whales in the bottom of the ocean. I think that's all this is. This is not nutritious. They steamed it so it's extra juicy. They left the internal organs in here, and they just assumed that this was cooked well done.
Should I? You just put everything like in there?
Did you dip here? You could put some lime on it too.
We'll make it extra juicy and then see if it's even better. Some lime and then should I put some salt on there?
Yep.
There we go. I don't like the soy sauce, so I'll leave that there, but off we go, guys. I feel like there's like no taste. It's just basically what I tasted was the lemon I squeezed on it and a little bit of salt.
You don't have any weird aftertaste?
No.
Okay. Yeah, for me it tasted like weird.
But did you squeeze the lemon on it?
I didn't. I might have gotten more of the meat flavor.
Yeah.
It is light. It's
I feel
really
like my
light.
lemon just took over. Alright, I'll try this then without any external flavors to see what it's like. This had a little bit of aftertaste, but still not like anything too crazy. A little bit strong outside, and then once you bite through it, it was like one soft, like smush. That just don't know if that's anything I can eat.
Where's the internal organs?
Oh, there you go.
Oh, it all came out at once.
That's like the whole thing where you said try that.
Okay, it all came out. There we go. Internal organs. Dip it in salt. Okay. Okay. It's like Jello. Like crab head meat, but Jello with like little balls. That's okay. That's good. I can eat that. So far the meat is weird. The eggs are really good. So we got maybe 3 bites in, and then the meat kind of ran out. So then this guy ran over with this metal fork thing, and he is now scraping out little veins of muscle in between the shell armor plates, I guess. So we're gonna have a nice mushy bite after this. I think this will probably be the last bite on this whole animal. I'm excited. We'll see. All right, so he did some work. It took a few minutes for him to scrape this thing, and I'm putting some seasoning on this because this looks like a mix of meat. There's some organ, and then there's a vein in the middle of this. Different types of meat are mixed in here. So I'm gonna give this a shot. This is the weirdest bite I've ever looked at. Whoa. There's more flavor in that. That was actually enjoyable. There's different flavors going on in there. I can taste the organs and like the tail meat. Tail meat has a little bit more flavor. Go for it.
Let's go. Oh yeah, this part was good. That was really nice. Yeah, I enjoyed that. That was good. And the chili made it better, yeah, like you said. Really good.
So this thing has turned to a soup. We've stretched it out. We've gotten all the meat out of it. What's left is this soup. And this meat is super mushy, so this is gonna be an interesting bite. We're gonna put some chili in here. Throw some chili, some lemon, get that in there. Maybe a little of salt. And we're gonna get this soup out of here. All right. There we go. That's a little soup. It's a little hard to like get it out of this armor, but I did my best. Actually, here, I'm just gonna
Get everything.
This is tough. This is really tough. I've never had to like scoop things out of an alien before. Okay, that's better.
That's what it looks
Let's
like.
try this. Okay, that soup's not that good. That is weird. Imagine like taking crab meat and then like just letting it dissolve over time. It's not a great soup. I've had better soups. But at least I found out you can stretch out food. Does this mean that it is well done or not? Because I know when you cook shrimp or lobster, it's still not this flexible. Like, this is... I still don't know if this is food. I'm not sold on the idea that this is food. But we'll try and finish this thing.
Alright.
Oh, he left these. Okay, I forgot.
Yeah,
he left these. Bite. Okay, he says.
Oh, okay.
He says we can bite this.
I thought you couldn't eat that.
I think
It was like the reason that he took it out. Okay.
Let's try it. Whoa. Okay, that's better. That's really good. That's different. This is not your normal shrimp claw. This is like a scorpion. What is this animal? That's good. Man, Niels, you gotta try this.
Oh, like it's like in there. Yeah, you can't. It's not focusing. All right.
How would you describe it?
It felt like, I don't know, like they mashed like a lot of stuff like together, and then it just shoots out of there. But what it is, yeah, I have no idea. I can't describe.
I've never had anything like that texture or flavor before.
Right, let's try another one. Just because. Cheers. It's really interesting. It's not bad.
That isn't bad. That's actually
It's like a
pretty
really
enjoyable.
good part.
Yeah.
But I would just not expect that in this small piece, on that top part, there's still like meat left.
It doesn't even look like there is. But yeah. Meat and juice. Alright, so we finished the meal. Meal was pretty good. Isopod's good. Everything was great. This restaurant is awesome. Great view of the beach. One thing that we were talking about is this isopod was about 2.7 million, which is over $100 per kilo. This thing came out, I think it was under half a kilo. So we're looking at around $50 for this thing. And yes, that's a bit expensive, but we were also wondering, does that include or not include cooking this dish? And we got the clams. The clams were really cheap, and then they brought a soup out. Like, I'm actually really curious now how much this meal costs. I'm full, it's a good amount, but I'm curious if this is gonna be like $200 or if the price that we got it.
I think we're gonna pay like somewhere around 3 million.
Somewhere around 3 million?
I think.
3 million, so that's,
Somewhere around 100.
okay, around $100. I think that's fair with how, I think the food was good. The food is very unusual. To try it once, I think that's a good price. We'll see. I'll say slightly more than 3, and then Niels is gonna say 3 and under. Good deal.
I think good deal. I expected to pay a lot less. I had no clue about prices when I got here. And I brought some cash with me. I was like, oh, I'll be fine with that. But let's say I'm gonna use my card because there's no way I'm gonna have enough cash.
All right, let's find out. It turned out to be not too bad, 3.2.
To be honest, I was really trying not to sound like I was freaking out, but that was the most I've ever paid for a piece of seafood. Given how this isopod is basically a cockroach, opportunistic scavenger at the bottom of the ocean, eating dead things, it's a little odd to me that it costs that much. And I also know this is bycatch. They don't actively target this, but they catch this while fishing for other animals. To me, I don't think this really justified the price. I wouldn't have it again, but at least I tried it out today. I'm very happy that I did, stepped out of my comfort zone, spent a little bit of money, and overall it was a great experience. I would go back, but I would probably pick something more normal next time.